Today, we will start a new topic from English Grammar for Class 6. The name of the chapter is Affirmative and Negative Sentences. But before that, we will be talking about sentence. Let's go through it. What is sentence? A sentence is a group of words that makes a complete sense. So, what is it? A combination or group of words that gives a complete meaning, thought, or idea is called a sentence. So, students, you have to remember one thing. A sentence always starts with a capital letter and ends with various punctuation marks according to the meaning of the sentence. So, let's go through some examples. Number 1. The girl likes to dance. Here we are getting a group of words which makes a complete sense. So, it will be considered as a sentence. Number 2. The beautiful rainbow soon faded away. Here we are able to find a group of words which is expressing an idea. So, this will be considered as a sentence. Next example. That means number 3. The sun rises in the east. You all know that this is a universal truth. Here we are getting a group of words which is expressing a sense. So, it will be an example of sentence. Now, we will talk about affirmative sentence. So, what is it? An affirmative sentence is a sentence that affirms something to be true. That means an affirmative sentence expresses the validity or truth of a basic assertion. So let's go through some examples. Number 1. Rima was absent yesterday. In this sentence, we are getting an information which is true. So, it will be considered as an affirmative or positive sentence. And students, please remember one thing. We can call affirmative sentence as a positive sentence also. So, let's see the example number 2. She takes great care of her health. So, students, you can get a positive information through this sentence. So, it will be an example of affirmative sentence. Number 3. They have something to say. In this sentence, we are getting the information which is true. So, it will be an example of affirmative sentence. Now, we will be talking about negative sentence. So, what is negative sentence? A negative sentence is a sentence which states that something is not positive by nature. That means a negative statement states that something is not positive or incorrect. And students, we can make negative sentences by adding the word after helping verb. And what is that word? The word is not. That means we can add the word not after helping verb. So let's go through some examples. Number 1. It is not very cold here. In this sentence, we are getting an information which is negative by nature. So, it will be considered as a negative sentence. Example number 2. She could not do her work easily. In this sentence, you can follow one thing. We have used not after helping verb. So, it will be an example of negative sentence. Next sentence. That means example number 3. Rima had not gone to Mumbai yesterday. In this sentence, we are not getting any positive sense. So, it will be considered as a negative sentence. So, students, now in this slide, we will discuss how to make sentences negative. Let's go through the rules. Number 1, the verb be. That means we put not after the various forms of the verb be. That means we can insert not after the various forms of the verb be. Let's go through some examples. Number 1. Nita is hungry, and you can follow one thing over here. In this particular box, this sentence has been written under affirmative sentence. So what is it? Nita is hungry, and you understand clearly that this is affirmative sentence. So how to make it negative? Nita is not hungry. You can follow in the box also. In the negative section, the sentence, Nita is not hungry has been written. So, in this particular sentence, we have added not after be verb. So, this will be a negative sentence. Next one. They were here yesterday. This sentence is also an affirmative sentence. If we want to change it into negative, what will be the sentence? That means what will be the negative sentence? They were not here yesterday. In this sentence, we can follow one thing over here. We have added not after where. So, it will be an example of negative sentence. Next one. Number 3. He will be going there. You can easily understand that this is an affirmative sentence. So, how will it be transformed into negative? He will not be going there. Here we are getting one negative word. So it will be treated as a negative sentence. Next, the verb have. That means has or had, we can say. When have shows possession, we use no with it. That means when this particular verb is showing possession, we can use no with it. Let's go through some examples. The child had toys. This is an affirmative sentence. Through this sentence, we are getting positive thoughts. So, what will be the negative sentence? The child had no toys. In this sentence, we are getting negative word after had, that is no. So it will be considered as a negative sentence. Next example. The players have something to say. This sentence is indicating the positive sense. So, we all know that this is an affirmative sentence. How to change it into negative? The players have nothing to say. So, here we can see that we have added nothing after have verb. So it will be a negative sentence. Next example. We have done our homework. This sentence is also an example of affirmative sentence. So what will be the negative one? We have not done our homework. When have is used as an auxiliary verb, we can use not with it. So, in this sentence, we have used not after the auxiliary have. So, it will be an example of negative sentence. Now, we will be talking about the rules of auxiliary verbs. When the auxiliary verb is a form of a modal verb, for example, can, could, must, we use not with it. That means in the cases of auxiliary verb like can, may, must, etc., we can use not with it. So, let's go through some examples. He could do his work. That means here we can see that this sentence is coming under affirmative sentence. So, what will be the negative one? He could not do his work easily. Here we have used not after the auxiliary verb could. So it will be an example of negative sentence. Next one. She must attend the classes. This is affirmative sentence because it is expressing a positive idea. So what will be the negative one? The negative sentence will be she must not attend the classes. Here you can follow one thing, that the word not has been used after must. So it will be a negative sentence. Next one. It may rain today. You can easily understand that this is positive or affirmative sentence. So what will be the negative one? That means negative sentence. It may not rain today. Here we have used not after the auxiliary may. So it will be a perfect example of negative sentence. Next, verbs made up of two or more words. What is that? We put not after the first verb. That means if we get two verbs in a particular sentence, we always use not after the first verb, that is helping verb. Let's see some examples. What is that? Sarah should go to the doctor. In this sentence, we are getting a positive thought. So, it will be an example of affirmative sentence. And what will be the negative one? The negative one will be Sarah should not go to the doctor. Here you can follow one thing. We are getting two verbs over here. One is modal auxiliary, that is should, and the second one is go, that is main verb. As per the rule, we have used not after should. Next example. She is keeping well. Through this sentence, we are getting a positive idea. So, it will be an example of affirmative sentence. So, what will be the negative one? She is not keeping well. In this sentence also, we can follow one thing. We have used not after is, that is helping verb, and keeping is main verb over here. Next sentence. We should think ill of others. This sentence is expressing a positive idea. So, it will be an example of affirmative sentence. And how to make it negative? We should not think ill of others. In this sentence, we have used not after the first verb should, and it will be an example of negative sentence. Next, simple present tense. We use do not or does not with the first form of the verb. That means we can use not after do verb. Let's go through some examples. He takes great care of his health. This sentence will be an affirmative sentence because this is indicating positiveness. And what will be the negative one? The negative one will be he does not take great care of his health. In this sentence, we have used not after does. So, it will be an example of negative sentence. Next example. The flowers look fresh. This sentence is an example of affirmative sentence because it is expressing a positive idea. And how to make this sentence into negative? The flowers do not look fresh. Here you can follow one thing. We have used the word not after do verb. So it will be considered as a negative sentence. Next, simple past tense. We use did not with the first form of the verb. That means whenever we will get any past form of the verb, we can use these rules over here. So let's go through some examples. Number one, she got there in time. In this sentence, we are getting positive thinking. So, it will be affirmative sentence. How to make it negative? The negative sentence will be she did not get there in time. In this particular sentence, we have seen that not has been used after did, which is a helping verb. So, it will be an example of negative sentence. Number 2. Tom painted the fence. You can easily understand that This sentence will be an example of affirmative sentence. So what will be the negative one? Tom did not paint the fence. Here we have used not after did because we know that we can use did not with the first form of the verb. Next, imperative sentence. In the cases of imperative sentence, we put do not in the beginning of the sentence. That means imperative sentences can be started by using do not in the cases of negative one. So let's go through some examples. Go upstairs. In this sentence, we are getting a positive instruction. So it will be an example of affirmative sentence. How to make it negative? The negative one will be do not go upstairs. We know that this sentence is coming under imperative sentence and we have used do not before go upstairs. So it will be an example of negative sentence. Next example, switch off the lights. Through this sentence, we are getting positive thoughts. So, it will be considered as an affirmative sentence. How to change it into negative sentence? Do not switch off the light. I repeat, do not switch off the light. In this sentence, we have used do not before switch off the light. So, it will be considered as a negative sentence. Now, we will study how a negative sentence can be written in two ways. So, students, a negative sentence can be written in two ways. And we will go through some examples to understand this particular point. So, let's see some examples. What is the first one? He cannot read or write. And what is the second one? He can neither read or write. So, you can follow two different structures of one same sentence. In the first one, we have used cannot to clarify it negative. And in the second one, we have used neither nor. But the meaning of these two sentences is same. So, we can write one sentence by using various type of negative words. Next example, I did not meet anybody there. And what is the fourth one? I met nobody there. The same thing has happened in these two sentences also. These two sentences are expressing same meaning, but we have used different type of negative words in these two sentences. Clear? So students, you can follow one thing over here. This is your worksheet page. I will give you some homework and you will try by yourself. First of all, I'll give the instruction. Please follow it. Make the following affirmative sentences negative. Number 1. Priya is reading a book. Number 2. Take this medicine if you have fever. Number 3. They were ready for the examinations. Number 4. The jar has some biscuits in it. Number 5. Any one of you should go there. Number 6. The thief had a pistol with him. Number 7. He can do anything. Number 8. She is able to do this work. Number 9. You have done your duty. Number 10. Shivani is sure of her success. Number 11. They should have come here. Number 12. The well is very deep. Number 13. It will be very hot there. Number 14. Someone has called you. Number 15. That means the last one. The sun rose at 6 o'clock. And students, you can practice more from your reference books also. So now we are ending our lesson over here. Thank you.